Okay.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you. So we will be starting shortly. If you want to ping your friends up, please do so. Okay, good evening, everyone. Make sure your friends are here also. The session will be started soon. Okay, guys, have your friends have also joined the session? We will be starting in 5 minutes, so hurry up. If anyone is joining, just ping them up, please. I hope the chat box is open for all. Okay, so good evening to everyone present here. Today we are all here for the second week of development week. For the second day of the development week. So I hope you all are excited about the same. Is the Josh still high like yesterday? Yesterday it was a presentful review from you guys. So may I have your reaction again? You may use the chat box. Feel free to use the chat box in order to make the session more interactive. It is a motivation to us also so that we can provide you such kind of content in future also. Okay. Okay, so I hope you all are excited for the same. Web development is something we all are excited for, right? I would just like to add something. If there is anyone who have joined the session for the first time, like it's the first day they are attending the session. Okay, there are people who are attending the session for the first time. So let me start the session by introducing myself. Myself, Rupashi. I am a volunteer at GFG-DCE. I am a web developer who will be hosting this event along with my counter host Krishna Kartike Bhatt. So, KK, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. This is Krishna Kartike Bhatt. You guys can also call me KK. I am from first year computer science branch, right now volunteering in GFG-DCE as a volunteer Delta.
Okay, so as I have already mentioned that there are people who are attending the session for the first time, I would just give a quick review about the bootcamp program, that is the development week. The development week is actually a free bootcamp program which will be providing you the skill set for web development. I hope you all are aware of that fact and are here today. So, as we have, let me brief you about the schedule first. Yesterday, we had our CSS program with Miss Sakshi. And as for moving forward, today we are having our JavaScript bootcamp by Mr. Utkarsh Jha. He is the vice chairperson of GFG-DCE and is currently working as a web developer intern at Sri Morvi Landscape Services Private Limited. We will connect to him shortly. Furthermore, tomorrow, that is 26th of February 2023, we will have a React JS bootcamp with Mr. Rishabh Sharma from 4 p.m. onwards. And as for the last day, on which you will be handed over a project by Mr. Tushar Patodia from 4 p.m. onwards. That project will be handful for you all in order to have you can add that in your CV also. Now, moving further, I would like KK to take over the place. Over to you, KK.
Yeah, thank you Rupashi. Hello guys, KK here again. So, JS, JavaScript, right? Most popular and widely used programming language. Even today, 95% of websites are running on it itself. So, we learned about the structure making of website through HTML and studying the website, styling the website through CSS, right? So now today we will learn how we can make our website responsive, logical, and how can we manage the behavior of our website by using JavaScript. So now I would like to request today's speaker, Mr. Utkarsh Jha, to take forward this session. It's your call, sir.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you, everyone, for this lovely introduction. And due to some technical difficulties, I'm unable to switch on my camera today. Uh, I'll just start presenting my screen. I hope everyone is excited to learn JavaScript. Am I
I
right?
am excited actually.
Yes, yes. That's
Yeah,
very good.
guys, show your excitement in the chat box, please.
Feel free to use the chat box. It's for you only.
Okay, guys. So the main objective of this boot camp and the reason why GFG is organizing such boot camps is that we want to give you a head start in all of these technologies so that you can, learn all these things in future by your own self. So we'll start with the session. Let me just present my screen. Okay. So is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. I'll just Okay, so we'll start with the JavaScript bootcamp. Before starting with the main topic, I would like to, uh, interact with you guys, and tell you something about my own self, and then we'll start the session. So, who am I? My name is Utkarsh Jha, and I am the vice chairperson of GFG Student Chapter DC for this particular session. Also, I am a web developer intern at Movie Landscape Services Private Limited. This company deals in landscaping services, for example, gardening and farming. And there, I'm a web developer intern, and I'm working on technologies like React.js and the entire what do we say it uh, module we say, right? Okay, so moving on. This is the reason. The reason why I told you where I work is because that you guys might be thinking that why should we listen to this guy? Why should we learn JavaScript from this guy? So that's basically used to set the markup. Okay, so before jumping directly into the topic, I would like to discuss a few things with you. Okay, so the main purpose of this bootcamp is not to, we cannot teach you entire thing in just 1.5 hours, but the main reason for this bootcamp is that you get a head start from, your other classmates and your friends. You get a head start in these technologies. You get to know what these technologies are used for, and how can you learn, from where you can learn, and what are the basic concepts of these technologies, so that you can explore your by your own self. So okay, so before JavaScript, there is basically no prerequisites for learning JavaScript alone. But the reason why we should learn JavaScript is that, as KK told us, that JavaScript is a widely used programming language. We can also call it a client-side programming language. We'll understand why it is called so ahead in this session. But let me just give you a brief example that how a website works, because there are many students who are not aware how a website basically works. So there are three basic components of a website. Any web page that you see online has three basic components. That is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We're going to learn about the backend stuff later on the for other sessions as well. But this is the basics of a website. So when you search for a website, when you look towards a website, you see these three basic components. Your browser basically processes these three components that it has received from the backend. Guys, just let me know that are you guys comfortable with me speaking in English, or you want any other language?
May you please use the chat box?
Is everybody comfortable in English, or do you want me to switch to Hindi or anything?
Guys,
हाँ जी, हिंदी में बोलना है या इंग्लिश में बोलना है? Please respond.
please interact.
Naman, Aditya, anyone?
Yes, you can continue in English.
Okay. If anybody is not comfortable in me speaking in English, then you can directly point me out. Okay, so moving on. That I was telling about these three basic components of a website. Okay, so whenever a user searches anything on internet, or inquires for anything on the web, what web does is it takes the inquiry, goes to the backend server or anything, and then processes the required inquiry, and then gives you the required files and presents you the required websites and links, whatever it is. So when you open a website, these are the three basic things that you get to see. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As you all know, and for those students who do not know what HTML, CSS, and JavaScript do, let me give you a brief introduction. HTML is the basic building block of a website. I'll not take much of your time in this. It is a basic building block. Let me just tell you with an example. For example, you see a car. Okay, many of you might know that a lot of people use this example. This is a very perfect example. So what you see in this particular car, there is a metallic body, that chassis, that frame, everything is HTML. You cannot build a website without HTML. Okay. So what you see, metallic parts and the chassis and the glass and everything, that is the thing that makes the body is made by using HTML. Okay. So next thing is CSS, that is cascading style sheets. It is used for designing the website, making the website look beautiful and presentable. So what you see in this card is that all those curves that it has got, all those designs or color or the placement of things, that is done using CSS. So when you use HTML, CSS, you can get a basic car, but why you building the car? The basic aim of building a car is to travel. That functionality is provided by JavaScript. Okay, so JavaScript provides the functionality. The engine which is there in this car, you can understand that the engine which is there in the car provides the basic functionality. When you press the accelerator, the car moves ahead, reverse gear, it moves backwards. All those things are controlled using JavaScript. Okay, let's move forward. So JavaScript, as KK told us, that it is a very popular programming language. It is used both in front end and back end development. Okay, I believe that all of you are aware about front end and back end. Does anyone want me to explain what front end and back end are? Okay, Jaja. I'll tell you what front end and back end. A website can be broken down into two major parts. The entire web development journey can be broken down into two milestones. One is front end development and the other is back end development. Okay, so what front end development basically means is you can create the entire UI of that. You're able to create the entire user interface and of that particular website, and you're able to present the colors. You're able to put the images down, put the text down, and you can create a basic functional website and you can show it to anyone. That is front end. Okay, okay. So with the front end part basically consists of three basic technologies, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is front end. Okay, where you can create a user interface which the user can come and view and can do a little bit of interaction, and no data is processed or nothing magical happens. The place where the magic really happens is the backend part, where you can process things, where you can store the data. You can process the data. For example, if a user clicks on a button to view images, you can view that uses those images which you have stored in your server. Okay, so all these things are a part of backend. Backend is backend user cannot directly interact with backend. Backend handles the functionality of the entire application, or either it may be a web application or a mobile application. It can be anything. So I believe all of you are clear about this. Lachand, are you clear about what backend and frontend are? Okay. Moving on. Okay, so this was the main thing which I wanted to tell you guys is the interaction. What as a client, as a user, how do things work on a web when we look at it from a developer's eye, from the perspective of a developer. This is the process that we that gets carried out when we search anything. For example, a client makes a request. For example, if you want to search about cakes, so you search cakes on the internet, that particular keyword goes through the internet, okay, and it reaches the particular server. For example, if you search cakes on Google, the search or the keyword cake goes to the servers of Google, and then the entire processing in the backend part of that particular thing goes on. The server starts filtering out content which has cakes, and then sorts it and shows the client the relevant data. It is never that you search for cakes and you get guns or anything, right? So these are the things that this is how a basic flow of a website works, and how a basic search operation is carried out in the internet or the web. Okay, so we'll start with JavaScript now. किसी को कोई भी doubt है? Is anybody having any kinds of doubts?
Anyone till now? Okay. So if you have any doubts, feel free to use the chat box. It's just make the session interactive and learn about the skills more.
Guys, if you want to interact, अगर किसी को भी mic on करके कोई भी सवाल पूछना, they can ask. कोई भी general doubt related to web development, you can ask. Okay.
Just make sure you don't disturb the whole meet.
Yes. Okay, so we'll start with JavaScript. Okay, so just let me tell you what JavaScript actually does. All of you guys know what HTML does and what CSS does. Now, the main thing we want to know today is what JavaScript does in a website. For example, just let me, I'll just bring in a web page. Okay, my screen visible? Let me search a website called Bootstrap. I'll search this website called Bootstrap. Okay. So what you see in this particular website is this navbar, the colors and the text and everything. That is all controlled using HTML and CSS. But what you see here, these buttons, what are these buttons going to do? And this particular button, for example, copy to clipboard. How is this particular function is taking place? All this website. If you just right click here and inspect this entire website, you can see script here. Yeah, there's a tab called script. Just let me expand this thing. Okay. So if you search for this, do you see this script part? This is where the actual JavaScript is written. So this doesn't show the entire JavaScript of this website, but it gives us an idea how we are going to write JavaScript and everything. This is the main file where the entire JavaScript of this entire website is stored. This is something which is there in their backend, their server side thing. Okay, so you guys have a basic idea where we are going to write the JavaScript of your website. Okay. Okay, so you guys know how you can inspect an element and how you can open console. So JavaScript is a client-side programming language. Okay, guys, JavaScript is a client-side programming language, which means that you do not need to install any other application, any third-party compiler or interpreter or anything else. You can just directly go into your browser and inspect this, and you can go to console. This is the place where you can write your JavaScript and see your JavaScript code. Okay, I'll just show you a few things right now. Is the text visible, guys? Can you read the text? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Okay. So there are a lot of things that you can do with JavaScript. Okay. So for example, let me show you a few things. You can give an alert feature. There are a lot of websites. For example, if you might have seen this in IRCTC websites, where you miss a few things and you get an alert, or you get a pop-up that you missed this particular thing or something like that. So let's show this alert feature first. Alert. We'll write any message we want to show. Okay. And we press enter. We get a alert message pop up. Can you see it right here? Okay. So what we did is we gave an alert, alert line. We just gave this to this website. This is undefined. We are not changing anything in the main code of this website. I hope you guys know this. You can make changes via, using Google developer tools, Chrome developer tools and everything, but you can't make changes in the original copy of this thing. So you can view your entire JavaScript, whatever you are writing here itself in the console of the website. Okay. You do not need to install, for example, many of you guys know, have learned how to use Python. You guys know how to program in Python. You guys need to install a Python version, a compiler, and everything. And in C, you need to install Minji W64 or any sort of compiler, right? You do not need to install anything. You just need a text editor, and you are good to go. Jachand is asking what kind of error is showing there. This is related to the website. This particular Bootstrap website, there must be a few things wrong, right? That's why this error is showing. This has nothing to do with us. Okay, we'll talk about these kinds of error when we get further into this session. So, are you guys clear about the alert function? How alert function works? Okay. So let me just show you a few things. You can, जैसे हम लोग Python में करते हैं ना, the way we do in Python, we can directly just click 2 + 2, we get the answer. We can do the same way right here in the console. For example, 2 + 2, we can perform a number of arithmetic operations directly in JavaScript console. And 2 * any number, whatever it is. You can directly get the solutions of these things. Okay, so yes, I hope this is clear to you guys how console works. We can get the output of our programs directly into the console. Am I right? Okay. So there's all of you guys are aware about the print statement, how we print things in Python and everything. We use printf in C and cout in C++, directly print in Python. We use console.log in JavaScript. Okay, just write console.log, and we first program as usual, hello world, and enter, and we get the output. Is it clear? Console.log. ये basic चीज है. आपको अगर starting से पता होगी कि चलो print कैसे लिखते हैं, so you get familiar with the webs, programming language, और वो चीज आपको interesting लगने लगती है आगे जा करके. अच्छा, मैं आपको एक और बात बता दूं. जैसे JavaScript is a very popular language. Okay, as mentioned, more than 95% of the websites and the applications, on the web at this particular moment use JavaScript somewhere into their code. Okay, somewhere inside their code. The basic reason why JavaScript was developed was because that we needed a client-side programming language where we can, use it along with HTML, CSS to provide basic functionality of a website. You guys can create an entire website. Okay, you guys can create entire website using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you can host it. Your portfolio applications, your portfolio websites can be made directly by using just these 3 elements. Okay, Jaychand is asking, why are we doing this? How can we use this in pages for what kind of purpose? Okay, I'm getting to that, Jaychand. So as you know, HTML, CSS, unka kya kaam hota hai, we'll just not talk about them now. For example, if you have a button, let me just show you. If you have this button, I'll just tell you the most basic function of JavaScript. You have this button. What should happen when you click on this button? That is controlled by using JavaScript. What kind of content you want to have in your website, what kind of action you want to perform by clicking this particular button, that is controlled by JavaScript. There are many things that we can do with JavaScript. For example, you can make a dynamic website. You know what dynamic website is? Is anyone aware about what dynamic website looks like and what static website is? Yes, can you tell us, Jaychand? Okay, I'll just tell you guys. Okay, so what a static website looks like, and what a dynamic website looks like. For example, if you want to create, let me just show you by example. Okay, text. Okay, I'll just create a new file. Okay. Okay, so let me just show you what a dynamic website looks like. If you want to have a heading, for example, this is heading. Okay, I'll save it and I'll click on the go live. I hope you guys are aware about what I just did. This is an extension that we use. guys. Okay, Nidhi is not aware about this. Okay, so Go Live is a VS Code extension which we use, just to directly, we don't need to save it every time and then we go to a website and then reload it again and again. We can directly, just do this. For example, let me just do this again and again. These are 5 headings. I'll directly save it, and without reloading manually, the updates are shown here. Okay. So this is what live server does. You guys can play with your VS Code whatever way you like. You guys can install a hell lot of extensions for your own productivity. Okay, so what I just did was this. This is heading, this is heading, this is heading, this is heading. I did it manually in my HTML file. Okay, for example, if I would like to add a card, or if I would like to make a card and show profiles of all GFG team members, there are many ways to do this. One way is I make a card, then I give image, name and heading, and then I paste it, and I'll get one single card. For another card, I'll copy the code and again paste it. That will be another card. This will work, but this is a static website form. The website which we will get will be in the static form. Okay, what JavaScript helps us to do is when you create an array. For example, let me just say it. You create an array, or object, whatever it is. You create all those things. You put information into the JavaScript file. You don't need to copy paste the entire code in HTML file again and again for the number of things you want. You can directly just update the details of that particular person, of a new person, and it will directly reflect or create that new element with the provided details. I'll show you further in this session how a dynamic element looks like. Okay, so this, just understand this, what we did right here is a form of a static website. Okay, I'll close this thing and we'll move ahead. Okay, guys. So JavaScript is a scripting language. I just don't want to teach you guys using a presentation. This is just for our references. Okay, so JavaScript is a scripting language most often used for client-side web development. अच्छा, client-side क्या होता है? जब भी आप कोई भी वेबसाइट के लिए रिक्वेस्ट पुश करते हो अपने उसके ऊपर, क्या नाम है इसका? अपने इसके ब्राउजर के ऊपर कोई भी आप वेबसाइट के लिए अगर आप कोई भी रिक्वेस्ट पुश मारते हो, जैसे मान लो मैं लिंक्डइन के लिए सर्च करता हूँ, तो मुझे HTML, CSS और जावास्क्रिप्ट फाइल मिलती है. ठीक है. अब क्लाइंट साइड क्या होता है? जो सिर्फ मुझे व्यू होगी, जो मेरे ब्राउजर पे रन कर रही है, दैट इज कॉल्ड क्लाइंट साइड. ओके, जो मेरे ब्राउजर पे चीजें मुझे नजर आ रही है, दैट इज क्लाइंट साइड एवरीथिंग. जहां पर जो मैंने आपको अरिथमेटिक ऑपरेशंस करके दिखाए थे, दैट इज क्लाइंट साइड. इसी तरीके से जावास्क्रिप्ट आपकी सर्वर साइड पे भी यूज होती है. सर्वर साइड डेवलपमेंट में भी आपकी जावास्क्रिप्ट यूज की जाती है. ओके, सो जावास्क्रिप्ट इज एन इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ ECMAScript. ECMAScript एक अपडेट आया था जिसके बाद जावास्क्रिप्ट में काफी सारी चीजें चेंज हुई थी. ये दिस इज जस्ट अ स्क्रिप्ट जो कि डिफाइन करती है नई नई चीजें, कौन कौन सी चेंजेस प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस में आती हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड ECMA उस चीज से डील करती है. ओके, जावास्क्रिप्ट इज सपोर्टेड इन बोथ इन द ब्राउजर्स, टिपिकली सपोर्ट एडिशनल ऑब्जेक्ट्स. ठीक है, ये सब आप उतना ये काफी डिटेल में आप जब अपने आप एक्सपीरियंस गेन करोगे तो यू विल गेट टू नो व्हाट इज DOM एंड एवरीथिंग. तो मूविंग ऑन, जावास्क्रिप्ट जैसे आप देखो, जैसे यू हैव अ ब्राउजर, क्रोम ब्राउजर, आप जावास्क्रिप्ट उसके अंदर भी रन कर सकते हैं. इवन इन योर एज, इन योर माइक्रो, व्हाट डू वी कॉल इट, फायरफॉक्स एंड एवरीथिंग, वहां पर भी जावास्क्रिप्ट रन होती है. आपके ब्राउजर के साइड पे ये रन होती है. जो भी जावास्क्रिप्ट का कोड अगर आपके साइड पे रन हो रहा है, आप जो भी चीज देख रहे हो अपने सर्वर में, फ्रंट एंड का पार्ट है, वो आपके ब्राउजर का यूज करके होगा. उससे आपके बैक एंड पे लोड नहीं पड़ता, आपके सर्वर पे लोड नहीं पड़ता है. जो भी प्रोसेसिंग होती है वेबसाइट की, वो सारी आपके कंप्यूटर पे होती है. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा जो बहुत स्लो कंप्यूटर्स होते हैं उनमें वेबसाइट की प्रोसेसिंग स्लो होती है, जो बहुत फास्ट होते हैं उनमें चलो अच्छे टाइम पे हो जाती है. ठीक है. टू क्रिएट इंटरैक्टिव यूजर इंटरफेस इन अ वेब पेज, एग्जांपल पॉपअप मेन्यू, विंडोज एंड अलर्ट, हम लोग जावास्क्रिप्ट का यूज करते हैं. सेम चीज जो मैंने आपको बताई. मैनिपुलेटिंग वेब कंटेंट डायनामिकली, देखो वही हो गया ना, डायनामिकली हम लोग वेब कंटेंट हम लोग कर सकते हैं. change the content and style of an element, replace images on a page without page reload. All these things can be done using JavaScript. ठीक है, हम लोग आगे मूव करेंगे. हम लोग डायरेक्टली अब चीजें स्टार्ट करते हैं कि हम लोग कोड कैसे करेंगे. ये तो बहुत हो गया, हमने ज्ञान ले लिया जावास्क्रिप्ट कैसे काम करती है. ठीक है, आप एक फाइल बनाओ. देयर आर मेनी वेज ऑफ राइटिंग जावास्क्रिप्ट कोड और एनीथिंग. जो मैं पर्सनली यूज करता हूँ, मोस्टली जो मेजर कोड होता है किसी भी वेबसाइट को, मैं जावास्क्रिप्ट अगर उसमें ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, I'll create a new file. ठीक है, .js, एक नई फाइल में डायरेक्टली क्रिएट कर दूंगा. अब मैं इस फाइल को, इस पर्टिकुलर जो मैंने नई फाइल बनाई है index.js को index.html से लिंक कर देता हूँ, ठीक है। सीधा सीधा यहाँ पे मैं जाऊंगा और यहाँ पे स्क्रिप्ट टैग का यूज करा, script.src होना चाहिए पहले, ताकि मैं लिंक कर रहा हूँ। src, अब src में हम लोग जो हमारा पेज है उसे लिंक कर देंगे। कंट्रोल एस से आई विल गो ऑन माय लाइव सर्वर। ओके, यहाँ पे हमारा लाइव सर्वर है, ठीक है। हम यहाँ राइट क्लिक करेंगे, इंस्पेक्ट पे क्लिक करेंगे, हमारा कंसोल यहाँ पे आ जाएगा। मैं इसे यहाँ से बॉटम पे टॉप कर देता हूँ ताकि आप लोगों को ये चीजें नजर आती है। तो आपको मेरा कंसोल विजिबल है? इज माय कंसोल विजिबल टू एवरीवन? जो भी आप लोग जेएस में कोड करोगे वो यहाँ पर आपको शो किया जाएगा, ठीक है। अच्छा, किसी ने मुझसे पूछा था कि अलर्ट्स क्या आ रहे थे उस बूटस्ट्रैप की वेबसाइट में। यहाँ पे आप देखो, यहाँ पे कोई भी अलर्ट्स आपको नजर नहीं आएंगे क्योंकि जावास्क्रिप्ट की फाइल पूरी एम्प्टी है, कुछ भी उसमें गलती नहीं करी गई है, ठीक है। अब हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं आगे। स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं आपको बता दूं, JS इज अ हाई लेवल डायनेमिकली इंटरप्रेटेड प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज। ये बहुत भारी वर्ड है। बेसिकली जैसे पाइथन चलती है वैसे जावास्क्रिप्ट भी वैसी कुछ सिमिलर फंक्शनैलिटी की है, ठीक है। इट अलाउज क्लाइंट साइड स्क्रिप्टिंग टू क्रिएट कंप्लीटली डायनामिक वेब एप्लीकेशंस। भाई स्टैटिक और डायनामिक का मैंने आपको डिफरेंस बताना। JavaScript was designed to give functionality to web pages. For example, as I told you guys, what should happen when you click a button, what should happen when you move your cursor. These things are defined by using JavaScript. Okay, it can be executed in browser itself. You know, Acha, this is a very major question. JavaScript and Java have no relation between them. Okay, JavaScript and Java are completely different languages. They have literally no connection between them. Java is a very complex language. If you if you want to know from a developer's perspective, it is a complex language. It is not difficult, it is a complex language. Okay, and JavaScript is basically a simple language but yet very powerful language. So let me just tell you the incident why JavaScript was named JavaScript. When JavaScript was introduced, Java was very famous at that time. You guys know the story. I believe many of you guys know the story. And the naming of these programming languages have no logic behind them. You guys know, right, that Python was named Python after a show and JavaScript was named after, just because Java was very famous. That's why you just named it JavaScript. They have literally no logics, okay? Many languages were created inspired from JavaScript. Okay, so you might have heard about CoffeeScript and TypeScript. How many of you have heard about these two scripting languages? Have you heard about these languages? Okay, I'll tell you. TypeScript, okay, TypeScript and CoffeeScript. These, what these, script does that you get to write a very simple syntax. Just say, for example, you guys know how the syntax of C looks like. It is a bit confusing to many students, but what these scripts do, you write a very simple syntax, based on their procedures and rules, and then that program which you have written gets converted into JavaScript and is provided to the browser. This provides a bit of functionality, bit of, what do we say, developer friendly. You can call it a developer friendly approach towards writing JavaScript for websites around. Okay, so we'll move on. Setup. What do we need to set up is, all you need is a browser and a text editor. Or us text editor mein you need an extension called live server. You guys can work even without that, but it is my suggestion that those of you who do not use live server should install live server. Go to the extension pages and live server. You can search it. You will just get it here, the first thing, and just install it. I have already installed it, so I'm not going to do that again. Anyone having any kinds of doubts till now? Till now we have completed the setup of our development environment. Any doubts? No? Okay. So yes, I was telling you about in how many ways you can write JavaScript for your website. Okay. Okay. So first thing that I wanted to tell you was inline JavaScript. We write inline JavaScript as well. You can write it here. Okay. हम लोग यहाँ पे भी लिख सकते हैं body tag के अंदर you write script tag. यहाँ पर भी आप JavaScript लिख सकते हो पूरी. समझ रहे हो? I'll just write it right here. Okay. Let's save it and you see this particular thing got printed here, and let me just comment this out. Save it. We do not have this printing now. और अब हम लोग we'll write the same code here in this index.js. I'll write console.log the word. Okay. And JavaScript, when you write JavaScript code, after every line, just as in C, you write a termination statement. That's semicolon. Okay. Yes, hello world as a output. Okay. You guys can write in both ways, any ways you like. Write here as well. You can write in a separate file for JS and then connect both of these files. Okay. I prefer this way, but during development, many a times you have to use this method just to keep things clean. Okay, just to get to know what you were doing or what you were working with. So moving on, let us just directly start with JavaScript. What do you say? Development and index and everything. Okay, so first thing you guys learned is console.log. Okay, this is a print statement. You just write it. Statement in JS. I'll be providing you with this particular cheat sheet which we will be developing. Okay, so that you guys can have a reference point. Okay, now we'll learn about how to declare variables. These are the basic things that you are going to learn in any programming language. That how to print, how to take input, how to declare a variable, how to declare array, and after that you can do wonders with the language. So we'll use let keyword. A is equals to whatever your name is, or let me name Ram. Okay, this is how we define a variable. Okay, and let me just print it. Console.log, and we write A. Okay, save and see the output. Can you see this, Ram? We have the output. Now we know how to print a statement. We know how to declare a variable. Okay. So in earlier version of JavaScript, what we used to do is we used to use many keywords like var or anything such like variable and all those things. But now after ECMAScript got updated, we use let keyword to declare a variable. We can use, just to do this, as let b is equals to any kind of number, and then console.log b. Okay, we'll see the output here, 87. Okay, are you guys clear about what we have done till now? Forward. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, there's the script. Let me just keep things side by side. I hope you guys can see the entire thing. Is the screen visible to you? Can you guys see the code? For you. Is
I guess
visible?
there's a need of little bit.
Sorry?
Can you please मतलब बड़ा कर दो थोड़ा सा उसे? Code screen. Yeah.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just okay. We'll start now. Okay, moving on. What we know till now about this thing. Okay, we can declare a variable without even declaring its values and everything. Simple. Let, for example, if you want to declare a variable called a, b, and c, d, you can declare variable name, comma, cd, or anything. Name, class, okay, roll number, anything, and then oops. Okay, this is how we create, declare variables. This is a keyword, I believe. I'm not going to use that. Okay, So A, B, C, D, and all these are variables without a value, and then we can give the values like this as well. Name is equal to Aryan, okay, and C. Okay, I believe we can't do this right now. I'll tell you about it. Okay, so if you wanna have a variable with a constant value, for example, uh, in this particular thing, let a is equal to ram. You can further change the value of a. But if you want something, any variable to have a constant value throughout throughout your program, what you can do is use a const variable. Sorry, const keyword. Const keyword and variable name. For example, mm, rate of rate of interest is equals to 10%. Okay. So what this will help us, we will not change. We cannot change the value of this particular variable in when we write it ahead. Okay. This can show us here the interest rate will not be changed as we change the value, as it is a constant. It might throw us an error. We can again do the same thing. Control. Okay. And rate of interest, save it, and we have the value here. Okay, am I clear? Abhi tak we have learned how to create a variable, how to assign a value to a variable, okay, how to create constant variable and everything. Does anyone have any doubts? I just got a ping, I believe. Is
No,
anyone
so you
having
may
any type of doubt?
continue.
Okay, okay. Okay, so now we are going to study about data types. Data types in JS. Okay, data types in JavaScript. So we'll do this. For example, name is equals to Ali. Okay, and let name was already defined. If you guys can see, I'll just change it. First name is equal to Ali. Okay. Let age this. Let me just complete 19 years. Let Okay, these are a few data types which we use in JavaScript, which we know in JavaScript. For example, the first name Ali, that is a string data type. It is a string literal. After that, we have a number literal number. It is a numeric data type. Okay, integer data type. And next is true. This is a Boolean data type. I believe all of you guys know what is a Boolean, what is a number, what is a string, what are integers, floats. है ना? I believe you guys have studied about all these things in your PPS. Am I right, guys? Okay. Okay, Jachand is asking, var is also a keyword used in declaring variables. Yes, it is true. Var is also a keyword. Okay, var means variable keyword. But after ECMAScript, we use let. There's always an updated way of doing things. You can also, I believe, you can use HTML4 or all those things, but you don't use them, right? You use HTML5 because that is updated, and that is the industry standard. That's why we use let these days. You can also create these variables using var keyword. Is that clear, Chachan? Mm, as such, we do not have any difference in them. But as far as I'm aware about the difference, is that using the let keyword, I believe we can create a variable of any data type. I've never used var in my life. I'll be honest. So I'm not aware about what functionality it provided, but I just directly jumped to let because it can create variables of any data type. We don't need to define integer or float or anything. Okay. We have another data type called undefined, right? Let me just write it. Okay. Okay. Let not approved is equal to undefined. These are types of literals that we use in JavaScript. Am I clear? Okay, we'll move. Next thing. All of now, what all things have we done is we know how to print in JavaScript console. We know how to create a variable, how to print a variable. Okay, and we know how to create a constant variable. We know how what are the different types of data types in JavaScript. Now we are going to learn about objects in JavaScript. Objects in JavaScript. Okay. So we'll do it the same way. For example, that how we used to. How many of you guys know about dictionaries in Python? You guys have studied dictionaries, I believe. Okay, so I believe all of you guys are aware about how dictionary work. How what dictionary actually is. It exists in key value pair, right? How many of you guys are aware about this, that it exists in key value pair? I'm not directly comparing dictionaries with objects in JavaScript, but I believe you guys are aware how do they exist. Okay, so this is how we write key colon value. Is this how we write? Yeah. Okay, so we'll now get to know how we create objects in JavaScript. Okay, let me create let student be an object, and curly braces, name of the student. Okay, the Utkarsh, comma, age of the student will be 19. Okay, this is how we create an object in JavaScript. Okay. Using while the thing I was talking about, that you can create all these things, you can call these things in in the future when you'll make new elements and everything, you can use the concepts of object in your website. I'll show you how you can do that. But moving ahead, and let me just show how we print it. Console.com. That is okay. So you guys can see the output: name, Utkarsh, age 19. Okay, this is how we see the output. This is how an object, we can create an object and we can print an object in JavaScript. Moving ahead. Is anyone having any doubts? So, creating objects or making a class for object creation. We're directly creating an object in JavaScript. We're not creating a class as of now, but this is this student is object in its own self. Am I clear? Okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can create the operations. As in Python, we used to change the value by using the key of that particular key value pair. For example, if you have name is set to Utkarsh, then you can also change the name directly without manually changing it into this object. You can change it by using notation. We'll call it dot notation. Okay, what we do is we'll go to student. This is the object which we created, student dot name. Okay, we'll change the name to Akash. Okay, as you guys saw here, the name was Utkarsh and age was 19. We'll control S and then we'll go for console.log. Same thing. Now see this. We have not created another object, but we can change the name by using this dot notation. Okay, this is pretty simple. Okay. We'll move ahead. We'll use the bracket notation now. You guys saw this, that we can change the name and the value of everything using the dot notation. We can also do this using the bracket notation as well. For example, student, 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 we'll use brackets, age equals to, let me change it to 10. Okay, save it, and then again we'll do this. Less, and yes, I believe something has changed. Sorry, I didn't use these double quotes. Am I clear? This is how we can change the values without changing the original object. Okay, we change the values using the keys of these objects. Okay, we change the name to Akash and age to 10. The previous output was this. And the new object which now exists is this one. Am I clear, guys? Got it. Very good. Just a second, guys. What's the issue with my VS Code? Never mind. Okay. We are aware now what we have done. Okay. Now we are going to study about how do we create an array in JavaScript. Okay. Similar, very simple, guys. JavaScript is a very simple language. You'll create a let, use a let keyword, use fruits, and then create an array. Okay. Apple, oranges, and one more thing. Watermelon. I'm not good with remembering all these names, guys. Not even remember the names of my friends in your time. Okay. Okay, we can print this console.log. I believe you guys can set up all these things. What I just did was, I set up a few shortcuts in my Visual Studio Code. I believe you guys are aware how you can set up your own Visual Studio Code for your own productivity. Guys? Okay. Nidhi is aware how she can, customize her Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is how we do things. Console.log, I'll just change this through to what? Okay, save it. And we have apple, oranges, and watermelon. And indexing, how does indexing works in arrays? I believe all of you guys know how indexing works in C, starting from 0 to n minus 1. N is the number of elements in the array. Okay, it works the same way. 0, 1, 2. The index of apple is 0, index of oranges is 1, index of watermelon is 2. Okay, and the length is 3. Very simple, easy peasy. Moving ahead, we can access these elements the similar way as just like how we used to do in C, C++ and all. 0, 1, 2. Okay. Oops. Array, no, it is not array. Okay. Yes, we have our output here. Okay, we know how we can access individual elements in JavaScript. Okay, we can also add new elements into the pre-existing existing array. Using just a piece of code. We use this simply roots. We create on index number 3. I believe we want to add something. We add. What do we write? Can you guys tell me name of fruit? I'm not good with names. Any fruit. Banana. Sorry, I don't know the spelling, but गलती हो जाए तो देख लेना. But yes, we have banana. Okay. So we'll bring it down, save. We have a new array called banana. Okay. You can do these things where we can add more elements and anything. Okay. Also, we can use how do we find the length of an array? Okay. We can also do this by using length function. It is very simple. It is the same in every single language. Array dot length. Okay. It's not array. It's fruits. Fruits. Okay. The length of the array which we have is 4, which is apple, oranges, watermelon, and banana. Okay. अभी clear till now? किसी को कोई भी doubt हो पूछ लो. Because this is just a head start for you guys. How does JavaScript look like, and when you guys can are going to learn this entire technology on your own, you guys know where to start.
Anyone?
Anyone having any doubts?
Feel free to use a chat or mic section.
Yes, we can wait if you are typing.
No doubts. Okay. Okay, so till now what we have studied is how to print, how to create variables, okay, how to create constant variables, how to create an array, how to create an object. Okay, now the next thing which we are going to look upon is how to create functions. I believe all of you guys know what function do. For those who are not sure what function actually does, is that we can call a function whenever we want. Okay, we can create a function for our own convenience. Okay, for example, if you want to add two numbers, you guys are not going to manually write a plus b is equal to c plus d is equal to something or something every time you want to add two numbers. The best practice which you can adopt is create a sum function and then call it whenever you want. Okay, we'll do this thing. JavaScript. Okay, so how do we create a function? Simple, using. Does anyone know how we can create a function? अभी बार चैट में जिन लोगों को डाउट नहीं है वो मुझे जवाब देंगे. निधि, नमन, does anyone know how to create a function? In C language, not in C language, in JavaScript. Okay, I'll tell you guys how to create a function. थोड़ा सा delayed response आ रहा है. बाकी we can create a function using simple function keyword. It is that simple, guys. Function keyword, ठीक है? Function keyword डाला आपने. अब यहाँ पे आप function में function का नाम डाल दो. जैसे मान लो मैं create नाम का function बना देता हूँ. जब भी आप आओ तो create नाम का function call हो जाए और आपको दे दे console.log दे देता हूँ मैं आपको. हेलो भाई, क्या हाल चाल है? ठीक है, विल सेव इट. अभी आप देखो, जैसे मैंने अभी इसको सेव किया, कोई आउटपुट नहीं आया. क्यों? क्योंकि फंक्शन अभी तक कॉल ही नहीं हुआ है. फंक्शन जब तक कॉल नहीं होगा तब तक आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. मैं आपको आगे दिखाता हूँ. फंक्शन कॉल एंड सेव. एल लिख दिया भाई, ठीक है. हेलो भाई, क्या हाल चाल है? ठीक है, ठीक है, हमारा फंक्शन काम कर रहा है. अब हमें पता चल गया कि हम लोग बेसिक फंक्शन कैसे क्रिएट कर सकते हैं और उसे कॉल कैसे कर सकते हैं. गाइस, जिन लोगों ने भी अभी तक कोई भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज सीखी है ना, अगर आपको उसका बेसिक्स याद है कि चलो एरे क्या होता है, वेरिएबल्स क्या होते हैं, तो ये चीज आपके लिए एक पीस ऑफ केक होनी चाहिए कि भाई कोई और लैंग्वेज में आप किस तरीके से सिंटैक्स को लर्न कर सकते हो. दिस इज अ पीस ऑफ केक. अगर आपको सी लैंग्वेज आ गई या कोई और एक लैंग्वेज आ गई कि जिसमें आप चीजें क्रिएट कर सकते हो, फंक्शंस एंड एरेज एंड एवरीथिंग. किस किस को यहाँ पे कोडिंग पहले से आती है? जो लोग कोडिंग रेगुलरली करते हैं. अभी आप जावास्क्रिप्ट को एज अ कोडिंग ही समझो, कोई कोडिंग लैंग्वेज ही समझो. के प्रज्वल, मोर, किस किस को आती है गाइस? Come on, raise your hands. Chandni, Vandita, Naman, Pulkit, UGH, Rumor. Nice name. Radhe, Kushi, Jaychand. Okay. You guys know how to code. बाकी के लोग क्या करते हैं? Nitisha and Ram, Tanisha. बाकी के लोग क्या करते हैं? चलो कोई नहीं, never mind. It's very good guys कि आप लोग रेगुलरली कोड करते हो. अगर आपको कोई भी एक कोडिंग लैंग्वेज आती है अच्छे से, मतलब यू अंडरस्टैंड कि कोई भी कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग कोड आपको कहना क्या चाह रहा है, then learning a new language is not very difficult. It is a piece of cake. It is a cakewalk, I would say. Okay, so till now what we have done is we have created a function which when we call does a particular thing defined in its body. Okay, so now next thing which we are going to do is to give or to pass an argument to a function, and then we can use that argument to print anything or do whatever we want. We'll just copy this thing. Control T. This is read one. I'll name it, and we'll give something name. Okay, this is a variable. Not name. Name. Okay, name. This is what we're going to use, and then hello bhai kya haal chal hai, and then we're going to concatenate. Concatenation कह सकते हैं, जो भी variable है, क्या variable था? We'll save it. Control.log. देखो अभी मैंने कोई भी argument पास नहीं करा है, मैंने greet1 फंक्शन को कॉल भी नहीं करा है अभी तक, ठीक है, सिर्फ greet फंक्शन कॉल हो रहा है. अब मैं greet1 फंक्शन को कॉल भी करूं, सेव करूं, क्या देख रहे हो, अनडिफाइंड क्या आ रहा है, क्योंकि मैंने यहाँ पे कोई वेरिएबल ही पास नहीं करा. जब मैंने उसे कोई वेरिएबल दिया ही नहीं, क्योंकि उसे यहाँ पे एक वेरिएबल की जरूरत थी, मैंने उसे यहाँ पे कोई वेरिएबल दिया ही नहीं, तो इस जब greet1 फंक्शन कॉल हुआ विदाउट एनी आर्ग्यूमेंट, तो वो यहाँ पे क्या भेजेगा, अनडिफाइंड, कुछ चीज मिली नहीं. और जब fname की वैल्यू अनडिफाइंड हो गई, जैसे मैंने आपको यहाँ पे दिखाया था, जैसे आप देखो मैंने आपको डेटा टाइप्स में ही बताया था, अनडिफाइंड डेटा टाइप, ठीक है, एक वेरिएबल तो क्रिएट हो गया लेकिन वो डिफाइंड नहीं है, कोई गार्बेज वैल्यू नहीं देगा, इट इज अनडिफाइंड. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ गार्बेज वैल्यू एंड एन अनडिफाइंड वैल्यू, ठीक है. So यहाँ पे what will happen कि when you called the greet1 function, it did not have any value for the fname variable, and then it passed on undefined as a value to this particular thing, and then this entire output was printed. And now what we are going to do is we'll pass a name. For example, I'll pass a name Ajay. Okay. I'll save it and see this. Ajay is printed. Okay, I'll pass another name. I'll call it again, and I'll pass. I'll pass Jaychand. Okay, so we have Jaychand here. Okay, so you can call this thing n number of times. Okay, for example, I'll just tell you why we use functions is, for example, if you wanted to print this particular string 100 times or 10 or I don't know 50 times in a code at different positions, not in a single go, at different instances at different places in a particular program. So it would not be advisable to copy this and then paste it multiple times. No, right? You guys going to write an optimized code and a clean code while you're if you are working for a company or in future whenever you write a code, always try to write a clean code. That's why we use functions. We can call function greet function, we can call anytime. Okay, we'll save it and we can have it anytime. ये तो चलो मैंने आपको दिखाया कि how you can print a string, how you can do things with strings and everything. You can also provide different values here. For example, I'll just show you how to create a sum function. Function keyword sum. It will take what do we say, a value a and a value b. Okay, it will give us console.log a plus b. Okay. Oops. Now we have a sum function. Now when we call sum, we give 18, 90, whatever it is. We call the function. Control S, save, We have the value here. Okay, we can call some function wherever we want with whatever value we need to give. We just don't need to write this again and again for different variables. Okay, we can just give in the values and it will give us the output of this particular function. I believe all of you guys can create your own functions now in JavaScript. Guys, yes, all of you can create your own functions in JavaScript from now. Okay, I believe we have what we need basically. This was the basic function, uh, basic knowledge that you guys need to have or grab to get along with JavaScript. JavaScript is very vast. I cannot teach you entire thing in this one video. And any of you guys have any questions related to web development or front end development or JavaScript, whatever, any kind of questions you guys can ask. Okay, काफी लंबा सेशन वैसे ही हो रहा है.
Okay.
If you guys have any question,
Anyone interested to ask anything?
yes, I believe. I believe we're going to wrap up this particular session because this was just a basics, an introduction to JavaScript. If you guys want, I can give you the resources from where you can learn JavaScript for your own work. Okay, need to learn a front-end framework like React.js or Node.js. Jaychan, if you, what is your specific question? You want to be a full stack developer or what? A front-end developer. Okay. So for front-end development, you'll be fine with a few frameworks which we know, React or whatever it is. Node is for backend purposes. React you can do it as a JavaScript framework you can use. You can also use Angular for development as well. But it is my suggestion that you go for full stack development because front-end development we get templates directly from a web. The main requirement, you can get a higher package if you work for full stack. You don't know how technology changes and everything. Okay, so you want to learn a framework. First thing, Jachan, what I did was I contacted my seniors and whomever I found, in my vicinity, and then asked them these questions that from where I can learn. They told me their experiences, and what I would suggest is talk to your seniors. First thing. Second thing is you can always Google anything. You guys don't need to pay for even a bit of thing to learn from online. Okay, everything is for free on YouTube and Google. You guys know, just say today, what we did today was, learned how JavaScript works, how JavaScript looks like, and then we can go on online platforms and learn all these things. jQuery to JavaScript, jQuery. Okay. Which one should I learn first if I have to choose only one? My suggestion to you, Jachan, will be that you learn first. I believe you are familiar with HTML, CSS, right? If you have a command on HTML and CSS, my suggestion for the roadmap will be build a few one website or two websites using different frameworks like Tailwind, CSS, and everything, just to have a hold on front end development. Then go for JavaScript and React because React is very much beginner friendly, I would say. Okay, you guys can learn React and then for backend purpose, you can come to me if you want to ask it. There is no as such language for backend. JavaScript you can use for both front end and backend. If you want to know, you can also do backend with Python. You need to manage database and everything. You can use Python and all. Any other questions? Ria was having a question, I believe. She raised her hand. Yeah, you can do Java as well if you want for backend, but I have no idea how to use Java for backend in web development. Yeah. Okay. Any question, guys? Anything you want to ask? Acha, if anyone has any doubts in, from where should I learn all these technologies and all everything about this language, what you guys can do is uh, if you guys know how to program, if you guys know how to program in a particular language, so what you guys can do is you can go to websites, W3 schools or GFG, I should say. Personally, I've learned JavaScript from GFG's website. You guys should develop a habit of reading documentations and reading from websites, not just directly jumping to videos and everything. First, try to read and grab what all you can grab from a website or from a written text, and then you can jump onto videos and everything for polishing up those technologies which you learned. I believe we can wrap it up if anyone does
Yeah,
not
we
have
should
any
wrap
other
up, sir.
questions.
So thank you so much, sir, for this informative session. We all are very thankful to you as you gave us this much of your precious time from your busy schedule. Thank you again, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for giving me
I
this
would
opportunity.
now like to conclude the meeting as tomorrow we are going to have our React JS bootcamp with Mr. Rishabh Sharma from 4 p.m. onwards. Hope to see you guys there also. Thank you for joining. You may leave the meeting.
Thank you for the